First, the top news headlines. JDU to support BJP in formation of new government in Manipur. Khumukcham Joykishan elected as leader of JDU legislature party. Congress would have secured more seats had state assembly election been conducted fairly, asserts MPCC President N. Loken. BJP set to form new government in Manipur by March 14 or 16. Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the MAMI TV English News Bulletin. I'm ALBINA RIAMEI. Janata Dal United has unanimously elected Khumukcham Joykishan as the leader of JDU legislature party. National Office Secretary Mohammad Hanisar in a press release informed that the party legislators have appointed Joykishan as the leader of legislature of the party in the presence of National General Secretary in charge Northeast Afek Ahmad Khan, Convener Northeast Executive Council JDU Senchumo and Lotha, and National Returning Officer JDU Anil Alekde. JDU also selected Ngursanglur Sanate as the deputy leader of legislature party of JDU and Muhammad Abdul Nasir as the chief whip of the JDU. The release further said JDU has decided to give support to the BJP in the formation of the government and appeal to BJP to honor the mandate reposed on the party and fulfill the hopes and aspirations of the people of Manipur. President of Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee MPCC N. Loken has asserted that Congress would have secured more seats had the 12th state legislative election been conducted in a democratic and fair manner. Loken was speaking to media persons at a press meet held at Congress Bhavan on BT Road today. The MPCC president further stated that people are already aware that democracy has become meaningless, although India is a democratic country. He also maintained that the state is now akin to a monarchy and that it is not a government of people's choice. Loken further lamented that the future of the state is now very uncertain.
Aiguna democracy ki adugulwa sab saba adugumadu torum lagati aigona election ki campaign kaya aigona ngamta ki badu sab sana aduma hangam gata bani adugu ngasi di aigoi prithvi da lairiba mafam kudimakta ke godi bharat asi democracy chatpa waita ki yamna phajaba adugumlaba country amane na khandaraba adugumlaba bharat ngasi di democracy ki ona daina pada Thai ki nithau pali ngai angam bahak na ratanda sason pai bagi adom sangsil kuna maram boratna ngasi di bharat da amsu manipur da democracy ki wahan thokato laisalak ta bagum adumak to koi punamak ne hana khang ai ki nambol kendra ma 1972 ngasi da ne state good phangaba 1972 da gina ngasi phau da election to ba hebasi Nambol Kendra da vote nising ani phana amuk te henadri 1972 dagina matamadu da parak pa election ai phata dagina ai bangna parak pa ai happy white koi musu paam da atu mai thir ga pir ga lai sidi da candidate koi ba misak kasi ai koi nambol da atu da manipur prajan kham gani hantak ki sigu mai na party ki president chu pham purwa sida thengna ba election da 3060 ai koi na sum kan kan da Kun kudimakta kendri polling kudimakta ai mix hook hengalena asa tongruga election ki result lakko matamda 3060 hen kiaba 1972 dagina ngasi phawkata sumaina vote hen baja ikol ide below 1500 lakh banaba adu ki mathakta nambol kendra 45 polling station naba sigum 45 polling station da aina poksariba ai ki kulle ba popam polling number taru Summa the polling number tam tagina ay fast hande.
Taking part in the press meet, AICC State in Charge Bhakta Charandas termed it extremely unfortunate that BJP used militant groups as a tool in the election. It is unbecoming of the leaders in the democratic state to indulge in activities to forcibly come to power, he said. Bhakta Charandas also demanded clarification on the manipulation of postal ballot in some ACs, including Wabagai. After getting absolute majority in the election to the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly by winning 32 seats, BJP is all set to form the government in the state by March 14 or 16. According to media reports, central leaders have not notified who will be the next chief minister. However, considering the absolute majority by the BJP, Chief Minister N. Biren will probably resume his post. Meanwhile, BJP Manipur in charge Sambit Patra, who had been staying in Manipur, has left for Delhi to meet the party national leaders. Manipur election in charge of BJP, Union Minister Bhupendra Yadav, Manipur co-in charge and Union Minister of State Pratima Bhumik and Sambit Patra will be reportedly visiting Imphal in a few days to meet the winning candidates and appoint leader of the legislature. National President of JDU and Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar met with the 6 winning candidates of JDU in the state election and congratulated them. According to media reports, KH Joykishan of Thangmaiban AC, Mohammad Abdul Nasir of Lilong AC, TH Arun Kumar of Wangkai AC, Ashab Uddin of Juribam AC, LM Kaute of Churachandpur AC, and Mursanglur Sanate of Tipaimuk AC left Imphal for Patna yesterday. During their visit, they met the National President Nitish Kumar and others JDU leaders. Nitish Kumar expressed his happiness for JDU winning 6 seats, which is the highest ever tally in the state. A resident of Dibong Awanglekai Ward number 10, Juribam, Moirangthem Prominent, inquired why a mob of people destroyed his house, shops and damaged vehicles yesterday. Speaking at a press meet held at the residence of JDU candidate of Juribam AC, Mohammad Achabuddin at Sonapur Prominent said a mob destroyed computer, CCTV camera, laptop and other machines in his shop. Aside from this, they also damaged some items of his house and vehicle. His mother fainted when the mob pelted stones at his house. Condemning the incident, he demanded explanation from those involved on the matter. Proman also drew the attention of authority concerned to look into the matter.
I urubada ngasi thomoi sokna nuai taba phawi I condemn tawi asigi thoga ningaba thodo se mari lainaba authority singna amtang yengchillaga matik chaba punishment pihanjaningi kari maramgi ai yumda laaga adumaina ai gi dukanda nung langjanba dukan thugaiba dukan properties mangan ba gari mai thaba yum manung da changaga thong thugai yum manung da changaga yum gi pochai thugai.
Meanwhile, General Secretary of JDU, Juribam Mandal TH Meghazit rubbish the claim that JDU workers physically assaulted the family of Vice President of Imphal West Minority Morcha, Saddam, at his house. Addressing a press meet held today at JDU office at Sonapur Part 1, he said JDU strongly condemned the allegation that JDU workers physically assaulted Saddam at his home at Lalpani yesterday after the poll results were out. Terming the allegation as baseless, he said JDU believes in peace and love irrespective of communities. Meghazit appealed to the people to refrain from such violence in the future.
JDU workers in Tharakuna, Saddam, the Puba Zagatore, Haribasi, JDU, Yamnakan, condemned to from the JDU Saitaki Masi Thagi, Bamata Lake, Masi Yawapamasi, Yamnakana, JDU, condemned to Loina.
Protect their land, protect their culture, they protect their customs.
JDU ne yamna kana condemn tawi from the JDU ki saitagi masi thagi bamta lekte masi gi wafam masi yamna kana JDU na condemn tawu ga loina na JDU ki maike dagi asigumba JDU ki ideology da mi phu haibagi te gosu lekte masi ma ai ahan makta da.
Leaders of the Kuki People's Alliance KPA fitted elected KPA candidate of Singhat AC Chin Lun Thang and elected KPA candidate of Cycle AC Kim Nyo yesterday. Vice President of KPA, Dr. Chin Kholal Thang Singh, Information Secretary KPA, Somin Thang were among those who attended the felicitation program. Speaking on the occasion, Chin Lun Thang promised that the party will try to materialize its manifesto in every possible way by working and aligning with like-minded parties.
Yeah, as we all know that KPA stood for the Kuki people, trying to protect the constitutional statutory rights of the Kuki people who have been neglected many years, whose rights have been trampled upon by the government many years, whose tradition or chieftainship rights. Now, as an elected member, we have our own manifesto based on the constitutional protection that is enshrined in the constitution. So as an MLA, we would like to work with other party. We have no bar working with different parties on the condition that our objectives in the manifestos are protected.
The KPA is born out of the need of the Kuki people and also the need of the tribals or the hill people. So has been born out to look after the interests of the people, protect their land, protect their culture, to protect their customs. So the people are really happy that such a party has been initiated or has been established. Therefore, that has brought to us a tremendous success in getting a victory for two of our candidates.
The Kukis have been rendered as a third-class citizens even in our own land, in our own state here in Manipur. So the formation of a strong and stable political platform has been the long-felt need of our people. As you know, we the Kuki people have no expressions of any political interest, be it in the national or regional party. And we are fed up with the pseudo-political parties who promises us before elections and altogether forget us when they are voted to power.
Dr. Chin Kholal Thang Singh said KPA will safeguard the rights of Kukis wherever they are and will field more candidates in days to come. There are more than 9 assembly constituencies which are inhabited by the Kukis predominantly, he said. As part of the tribute offered to Indian Army who sacrificed their life for the motherland in connection with Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a national-level tribute was paid to Major Ngangom Joy Datta by dedicating a plaque of honor and offering floral tribute today. Retired Lieutenant General L. Nishikanta, Group Commander, Brigadier of National Cadet Corps, NCC, Imphal Headquarters, Sandeep Junja, top officials of Sainik School and NCC cadets took part in the event titled Sahidon Ko Shat Shat Naman, held at Sainik School, Pangai. Speaking on the occasion, wife of Major Ngangom Joy Datta, Ngangom Subadani, expressed pride that her husband sacrificed his life in service to the motherland. She also extended her gratitude to NCC Imphal Headquarters for paying tribute to her husband.
contact taunadana aigi awaba kari kari loina bu moina adum yengchanbi kari su thoina waningai leikide adu oiraga ai suma panda adum hangai di leibani na ko masida kari kari chatnari akhoi sida kara kara kamai tor kai tor ke amma khangba laisu leite kari ma su ai monda phangba su leite adu ai na hojik yumda sida leira kandadi yamna kari haidi Siba, I give Buru Ningsan of my power. Can I but a Malay of the Mukan and I can consider the energy human Masari.
In Manipur, we are starting today by honoring the wife of late Major NJD Singh Veer Chak, who laid down his life fighting for the country in Sri Lanka in
I Ningsan Biratana, I give Buru through. Minjang Biratana, as my daughter say, I hiding I later to my season. pun pen pen ai purun mayam masa khambiri ko adu mathakta magi maram dagi ai bu sumayam masa khambiri natra adu ai asoki matik ngai jinga si function asi ta makhoina ai honda pibi order se amuk phawba ai khoi manipur da kana su.
Group Commander of NCC Imphal Headquarters Sandeep Junja stated that the tribute is being offered to soldiers of Indian Army who have been martyred in connection with Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Tribute will be offered to 9 brave soldiers in Manipur, and today's was the first event, Sandeep Junja said.
In Manipur, we are starting today by honoring the wife of late Major NJD Singh Veer Chak, who laid down his life fighting for the country in Sri Lanka in Oppavan. Their sacrifices are well remembered, but equally important to honor the next of kin who have lived with that pain for the balance of their lives, as we honor the lady and respect the memory of late Major NJD Singh.
The attendees, led by retired Lieutenant General El Nishikanta, laid wreath in respect of Major N.G. Joy Datta, and the plaque of honor was handed over to N.G. Subadani. It may be mentioned that Major Ngangom Joy Datta was deployed in Sri Lanka as a part of Indian peacekeeping force in 1987 and sacrificed his life in service to the nation. He was duly awarded a Bir Chakra Award for his service in January 26, 1988. The passing out parade of 234th batch of BSF Delta Company was held at STC BSF of Gangpi Mall. In the parade, 238 new recruits have passed out. Most of them are from Rajasthan and West Bengal. IPS, ADG, Eastern Command, BSF, Kolkata, YB Khurania, and Boxer and Arjuna Awadi Laishram Sarita was the chief guest and guest of honor respectively. Manipur Pung Cholom and BSF band display were the highlight of the program. Assistant Commandant T. Dominion administered the pledge to the constables. The passing out constables have undertaken 44 weeks of vigorous training on weapon handling and firing. On top of that, they have completed training on physical fitness and drill, among others. Around 1,000 constables are still undergoing training, report said. Meitei Council Moreh MCM observed its 28th Foundation Day at the Council's office at Moreh today. Representatives of AMSU, Technopal District Committee, Khanongpok, Apunba Nupi Lup Moreh and clubs of 5 localities at Moreh took part in the observance. A 2-minute silence was observed in respect of departed founding members of the Council. President of MCM, M. Toiba, spoke on the works carried out by MCM and works to be undertaken by MCM in future. India recorded 3,614 fresh COVID-19 cases with 89 deaths in the last 24 hours. With this, India's COVID-19 tally has climbed to 4.29 crore, while the number of active cases of the infection has dipped to 40,559, the Union Health Ministry said. The number of deaths due to the viral disease has gone up to 5.15 lakh, with 89 more fatalities, according to the ministry's data updated. The active cases account for 0.09% of the total case load, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate has further improved to 98.71%. Meanwhile, with 5,185 patients recovered in the last 24 hours, the cumulative tally of recovered patients reached 4.24 crore. On the other hand, with the administration of more than 18.18 lakh vaccine doses in the last 24 hours, India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has exceeded 179.91 crore. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today dedicated a building of Rashtriya Raksha University to the nation and delivered its first convocation address at Ahmedabad. Union Minister for Home Affairs and Minister of Cooperation Amit Shah, Governor of Gujarat Acharya Devrat and Chief Minister of Gujarat Bhupendra Bhai Patel were among those present on the occasion. At the outset, Prime Minister paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi and those who participated in the Dandi March. The movement under the leadership of Gandhiji against the injustice of the British had made the British government realize the collective power of us Indians, Prime Minister added. With the budget session of Parliament resuming on Monday, the Rajya Sabha will get 19 hours of additional time for business over the earlier schedule, officials said today. The House will sit from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. with an 1-hour lunch break during the 19th scheduled sitting, while it's set from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. during the first part of the session. With this increase in the sitting time of 1 hour per sitting, the upper house will get 64 hours and 30 minutes for transacting the government's legislative business and taking up the issues of public importance during the second part of the session, according to an official statement. The House will have 4 days for private members' business, and the question hour will continue to be for an hour, while the zero hour, which was curtailed to half an hour during the first part of the session, will now be for an hour per sitting, the Rajya Sabha official said. The budget session resumes after a 30-day recess, during which the department-related parliamentary standing committees, DRSCs, examined the demands for grants of various ministries and departments. The first part of the budget session, with 10 sittings, concluded on February 11th, with the House reporting a productivity of 101.4%. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is on a Gujarat visit on Saturday, held a roadshow in Gandhinagar, his second such event in the state in 2 days. The roadshow was conducted between Degam town in Gandhinagar district and the Rashtriya Raksha University, RRU, at Lavat village, wherein Modi waved to people standing in large numbers on both sides of the road. Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel accompanied him in the open jeep. People thronged to greet the Prime Minister along the 12-kilometer route of the roadshow. The roadshow ended when the vehicle reached the RRU. This is Modi's second roadshow in his home state for the second consecutive day. On Friday, he had held a roadshow from the Ahmedabad airport to Kamalam, the BJP headquarters in Gandhinagar. These roadshows are being seen as Modi kick-starting his party's campaign for the Gujarat Assembly elections scheduled in December. Just days after results were declared for recently concluded assembly elections in 5 states, the Congress looks to regroup and focus on poll-bound Gujarat after being handed defeat in UP, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Goa and Manipur. The AICC in charge of Gujarat, Raghu Sharma, accused the Aam Aadmi Party of vote cutting in the state. Raghu Sharma hit out at the Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party, which recently swept the polls in Punjab, handing defeat to the Congress. Raghu Sharma told not to compare Punjab and Gujarat and added that people understood that the situation is different in every state. He further alleged that AAP only comes for elections. The main opposition party in Gujarat remains only Congress, and AAP is a vote-cutting machine in Gujarat. As Russia's invasion in Ukraine enters the 17th day, several cities have been taken under siege. India at the UN hoped diplomacy and dialogue between Russia and Ukraine would bring an end to hostilities. T.S. Tirumurti, India's permanent representative to the UN, said they sincerely hope ongoing direct negotiations between Russia and Ukraine will lead to cessation of hostilities. There is no other alternative except a path of diplomacy and dialogue. The dire humanitarian situation needs immediate and urgent attention. Meanwhile, the talks between Ukraine and Russia's foreign ministers on Thursday are still at an impasse. US President Joe Biden said that his country would not fight in Ukraine, and confrontation between NATO and Russia would result in World War III. Before we end the bulletin, let's look at the top news headlines once again. JDU to support BJP in formation of new government in Manipur. Khumukcham Joykishan elected as leader of JDU legislature party. Congress would have secured more seats had state assembly election been conducted fairly, asserts MPCC President N. Loken. BJP set to form new government in Manipur by March 14 or 16. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.